Great Awakening Bravehearts all around the world and everybody here today for day what?
3.
3 of the what?
Life coach.
Health certified, okay. And none of you are certifiable yet. No, I'm kidding. You're certifiable. You know what? The minute you take action, the minute you decided to take this course, you were certifiable. Because you wanted to find your authentic self. And nobody even knows what that means. And everybody thinks they're their authentic self, but unless you are actually unconditional love and care, you are nothing else. There's no other branding. There's no other branding on this planet. You know, there's other people on there talking, and they kind of skirt around the unconditional love, unconditional care thing, because it's still woo-woo. Okay, remember something. If you talked about spirit energy 25 years ago, they wanted to put you into an insane asylum. Did you know that? Yes. Come on, please, just wake up a little bit. I used to be a health nut, but now I was a health nut. I was a health nut back when I was with my first clinic. Everybody would say, oh, you're just a health nut, you're just a health nut. And you're always going to get put down by society. But now I'm dangerous. Dangerous to the point that governments are willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to come after me. So the reality is they're getting more scared, not me. Do you understand? Okay, and they're scared of what? Unconditional love. If you had unconditional love and care for yourself, that's the end of it right there. The matrix falls. That's it. But you're not going to, most of you. Why? And I'm not putting them all down because you built your life around some type of fairy tale story. Fairy tale story. I would like anyone to take their faith and their belief and then go and do a few months of research on what you believe in and really delve in. Don't stay in your little box to try to prove, okay, that you're right because you bought the story. Go in to try to prove that the story that's been force-fed into your mind is a lie. And none of you do it. You never do it. When I say none, I mean majority all the time. I don't mean none. But I'm telling you right now that people don't do that. Every story. My father was a born-again Christian pastor. Did I learn great things from him? Yes. And did he have a life of suffering? Absolutely. He didn't know how to love himself or me. Okay? All right? I didn't have a problem that he wanted to be with Jesus, but the reality is Jesus, he never wanted to be with me. And that doesn't affect me today. I don't have drama trauma from the past. And almost every one of you talk about your drama trauma, don't you? You talk about your drama trauma. And you ball and chain it, and you put it on you, and you drag it. And guess what it is? It's your hero's badge. You actually use it as a badge. Oh, you don't understand. I'd like to tell you my story, because nobody went through the hell I went through. Really? Are you like out of your skull? Are you so proud of that? And guess what? You made it up. You're full of BS. Every time you tell a story, because you're attached to it, you enhance it. No, I don't. Yes, you do. And understand something. Go do the research and you'll find out that there's every story that's told by anybody from their past has been enhanced. And most of the time, 50% was added in for flavor. Yeah, no, it was. Let me tell you, Nadine, we're not doing this, me and you, right now. We'll do it after I do this one a day because it's a distraction. I'm not going to have your subconscious distract me. And listen to this. Why don't you go and ask your brothers and sisters? And then you're going to say, well, I'm a single child, so nobody can verify. And guess what? You go to your brothers and sisters and you say, you remember when this happened to me? And they're going to go, no, that happened to me, not you. Okay, no, it didn't happen like that, and I can prove it. I'll get mom and dad. And understand something. Stop. Just stop. The past doesn't matter. The only thing you bring from the past is, guess what? Is observation, okay, to rise. Not to go around and look for pity and sympathy. And understand something. I have empathy for everyone, but they've taken empathy and made it into sympathy. Oh, you know what? Almost every week I get this. Hi, Dr. Wolf. How you doing? Okay, all right. I'm an empathic. I just want to hang up the phone. I feel everything. I feel all the suffering of the world. And I go, really? And how long do you want to do that for? Okay. All right. Okay. Guess what you're doing? You're going to get the ladder. You go and you buy the wood. You build yourself a cross and you nail yourself up on it. And then you want to show everyone how good you can suffer. And every one of you came from a family that was based on suffering. And whoever suffered the most in that family, okay, they were the ones that loved the family the most. So basically, guess what? I don't love my family at all. That's what was viewed when I started to break away from the herd, otherwise my family curse, and tried to become the family blessing. Okay, my children's mother, right? Okay, when I would actually be trying to change my world, well, you know, she called me Jesus, she called me Buddha, you know, and then when I would really just trying to stay in alignment when there was total chaos in my life, okay, she would try to get the kids to distract me and name call me. So understand, did I hate them for that? No. Look at how these psychos have programmed our families to actually attack each other. You know what? I don't go after anybody in my family, even if they're poisoning themselves. They know who I am if they want the answer. I don't go around and tell them, but go ahead and try to bring your vibration up, and man, they're going to slam you down on the ground. You do not rise unless we want you to rise. You think you're better than us? We're not good enough for you anymore? Our food's not good enough for you anymore? Our family's not good enough for you anymore? What? You used to have a beer. You used to want to take a drink. You used to want to have a toke. You know, it was okay for, you know, we would watch football all bloody day, okay, and pretend we were on the field. Thank you. That's not what I want. The majority of the population is so lost. So lost. You know? So lost. And that's it. I'm no better than anybody else. I just want a better life than everyone else. You can't have a better life unless you're going to love yourself. And Nadine, we're not discussing it because what you believe in your story is not even true. My story wasn't true. My story wasn't true. I believed that my wife was a terrorist. Okay, and she was terrorizing me and the kids. No, I didn't have the balls or the courage to stand up for them at a time when I was supposed to. I'm going to stop the story. I'm going to rewrite the story. I'm going to be here in the present moment and I'm going to own it. And guess what? You don't get lucky, you make lucky. Because your vibration is continually going out to that which we call God, Creator, Source. Every one of you have exactly what you have, the body, the health or the dis-ease, okay, the money, even the money. And I know that the whole financial system is changing, and just know this, everyone, I'm going to be putting a Wolf Report up, and I'm going to be putting something up that everybody needs to hear just once. Just once. And then they can do it or they don't want to do it. But the greatest shift since 1866 in finances is going to take place. And from 1 year to 3 years from now, it'll be a flip of the switch and everybody's going to wake up in the morning and go, oh. Let me tell you something. The majority of the population has never been invited to the buffet. We only get the scraps. So everything that you know, everything that you hear, let me just tell you something. Bitcoin, okay, was the bait. It's not the real thing. Everybody gets screwed over, yes or no? We always get in when they want to do something like an ETF where we're buying something illusionary and they can hold our money, but we can't hold the value of it. You understand? And that's the same thing. Everything around life, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's food, whether it's anything, it's all a lie. And you're all lying to yourself. I already told you to go home last night and I told you to write your Braveheart story. And that means that you take your trauma dramas and you make them into celebrations. Okay? You don't need to forgive anyone else. You need to say thank you for the training. Thank you for the training. Who do you hate today? And I don't even want to, we won't even do that. We're not going to do circle jerk. Okay, I'm not doing circle jerk with you. You'll go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and then go tell them all your woes and why you're screwed up and who screwed you. And it's not true. Right now, we live in the moment and we own it. And we clean things up in our life. The day that you love yourself, you'll be able to let toxic people go, toxic habits go, and toxic belief systems. And yes, a lot of those toxic belief systems are steeped in religion. I didn't say all religion. I didn't say that. There's like 45,000 prominent ones, and then there's another 100,000 other little ones coming up all the time because somebody dropped some acid and they talked to God, and now they've got their own thing going. The reality is this: I just want to live in the present moment and own it. I just want to be able to never judge a human being again. What are you talking about, Daryl? What about all the wrong in the world? Well, guess what? If I make things wrong, I make me wrong. Because if I focus on the wrong, I'm not focusing on the right. And there is no wrong and right. When you play Monopoly and you lose all your pieces on the board, was it wrong, or you just didn't understand the rules and you don't know how to play the game? So understand, this is planet Earth. Everybody that calls you up or says to you, guess what? Guess what? What? Oh yeah, the world's going to all wake up and we're all going to live in thousands of years of peace and harmony. Very cool. Okay, good. All right, I'm just going to look after the moment right now. I'm not going to buy into any story. There is no story. There's just a present moment. It's 1/10,000th of a second. Unless you know that and you're connected to your breath, unless you have a slight smile on your face, okay, unless you say, I got this, and unless you're going to be distracted. And that's it. And understand something, whether you believe it or not, there are people in here that, guess what? If they don't torture themselves to a certain degree every day, okay, that's it. It's what you feed. What you feed gets bigger, yes or no? What you feed gets bigger. What you focus on gets bigger. Okay? So I'm going to focus on, is it okay with everyone that I just focus on my illusionary world? Because guess what? All this is an illusion. This is not reality. They tried to tell you that in The Matrix. The Matrix was the most important documentary that ever came out. And you went and you go, oh, that was entertaining. You know, the reality is The Matrix is not a movie, it's a documentary. And we're not even really here. Isn't it kind of amazing that I'm made out of all these particles called atoms, and they're not even touching? But you would think so, okay? You know, try to drive through a hurricane, okay? You can't get through it. All it is energy. It's a wall, okay? Everything is energy. So where do you want to put your energy today? Where do you want to put your energy today? And understand something. Don't do what I do. Don't believe in what I believe. Because there's so much out there. The universe has so many beautiful options. You know? I'm not even one small piece of your puzzle. I'm a tiny piece of your puzzle. Make the universe your playground. Most of you have a kitty litter. You don't have a playground. I have a playground. I have a sandbox where I go out and I build castles. I use my imagination. Your imagination is the biggest part of you. And most of you have an imagination that feeds the sickness within you. The story of how you never got yours. The story how you suffered so greatly. But guess what? You're suffering right now more than you suffered back then. But every time you tell the story, every time you feed it, the fire gets bigger. That's the reality. Cut the crap. If all your friends get together and talk about what's wrong in the world, and talk about Minnie who's on her drugs and Billy who's getting ready for the surgery, what are you participating in? And you know what? You can't go to a dinner party without people talking about the end of the world or what's going on. Hey, Nat, I'm doing a live right now. Okay, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, now get out of here. If you're not having fun, I'm not talking to you. Nadine, sit there today. Okay. What are we going to do? Do we have only child syndrome here? I don't know. Okay, all right. Listen to me. Don't take anything personal ever again. Don't shake your head no, because you do every second, love. So the reality is stop taking things personal. And you'll know it because you don't need to comment. You're going to observe. And you're going to take from that, and then you're going to go, I got this. What do you want in your life? Make a decision what you want in your life. That's why I said go home and do your Braveheart contract. This is not like some raw training that we know people do in the world, where everybody's pump up the music and get everybody excited. This is where we go in and we actually do the work. You understand? We actually do the work. And this is not where we go and we do 3 hours of meditation. Because everybody, guess what? What if you could pull off the walking meditation, which means that throughout the day, you're not reacting and attacking yourself or anybody else. It doesn't matter what goes on in the world. You are just an observer. That's it. What if you did that? Do you think you would weigh this much? No, you need to weigh this much because you need somewhere to store it, or else you wouldn't be alive. Because the bigger you get, okay, the more that you're storing dysfunctional emotion. So, get bigger, and then for those of you that your mind just runs so fast and you can't gain weight, you're in a worse situation. You're burning up from the inside out. You're actually eating up your organs. So, personalities create the physical body. Your physical body is created by, you can lose weight, but you're just going to gain it. But if you change your personality, you never gain it again. Unless you make a personality shift, you will not stay healed. You will not stay lean and keen. Oh, I'm up and down all the time with my weight. No, you're not. You're up and down with your personality all the time. That's what you're up and down with. Your personality is your illusion. This is all an illusion. We have all come together to decide that TV is there, these mats are there, that this building is here. But it's not even here. Most people aren't even grasping this that are watching right now, and it's not because they're slow. It's because when you hear something for the first time and they're going, yeah, like the building's not there. Go bang into the wall there and find out. No. We've decided to call it reality. We're moving into a whole different dimension, and it only happens every few 100,000 years. And right now, people don't understand the twirl. They don't understand. And actually, it's probably one of the most exciting times to live in your whole life. And all you had to do is just make the right choices of love, honor, and respect yourself. And that's why the Braveheart Oath is more important today than it ever has been. And anybody can say that oath, right? I haven't offended any religion or any creed or any color or any race or any language, have I? No. And the reality is, believe it or not, that I tweaked that thing for over a year and a half. Kept tweaking it. Because guess what? Everything comes from repetition. When you see somebody suffering emotionally, that's because they're going in and punching the living crap out of themselves with their mental. That's all. That's all. But that's not all. How do you change it? There's some people that will be on this planet and live this whole life in a destructive behavior. You can't reach them. You've all tried, haven't you? You've all tried to help your friends. You all tried to help your family. How's that working for you? Understand something. Until you make a conscious decision The subconscious rules. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here it goes. Everything you have was created because you decided on certain beliefs. From 0 to 7, you didn't decide anything. From 0 to 7, you have no filter. Bruce Lipton, pretty smart, eh? There's one story he tells that I don't really agree with. I'm not disagreeing. I think he's right. But I just give a different flavor to it if I could. Now, Bruce Lipton says that from 0 to 7, we have no filters because there's so many rules that we need to learn in the family and in the world that if we had filters, we wouldn't learn them quick enough and we'd get in trouble. And I'm telling you, I don't believe it. I'm telling you that the mind was manipulated just like the weather is right now in a laboratory probably millions of years ago. Well, yeah. Okay? Why in the heck does anybody need a subconscious storage shed of 90% of your brain? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. So 10% of your brain is conscious, 90% of your brain is subconscious. Now, subconscious never talks to the conscious mind, and subconscious never talks to you. And the subconscious is only a computer, and all it does is run programs. That's it. That's it. But guess what? Your subconscious is the most powerful thing that you will have on this planet. So guess what? If you didn't go and go to brainwash boot camp, and you didn't wash out the beliefs that you were given from 0 to 7 and onward that actually are negative, and you actually, every time you run a negative belief, does it get smaller or bigger? Just know that I'm right here. But there's no discussion. I'm not even going to debate it with someone. I'm not going to debate because this is actual science. So the reality is that everybody in this room runs on what? Prominent, dominant beliefs. Or do you run on just the small beliefs you have? The small beliefs overpower the prominent, dominant ones? Help me out here. No, only the prominent, dominant ones. And understand something, Chato. Your personality is not yours. No, it's a mix-up and a match-up of the people that you actually were around the most. That's all. And the things you listen to the most. Until you take that 10% consciousness and make that the forerunner. Oh, but guess what? 1 out of 10,000 people pull this off. 1 out of 10,000. I'm not making that up. Pull it off. The rest stumble through. Okay, they call it normal living. And guess what? Why do they call it normal living? Because the majority rules. Yes or no? Yes. Does the majority rule? Yes. Yeah, they don't rule me. I'll have nothing to do with the majority except love them unconditionally, because the majority, whatever they're doing, I will do the opposite or just not do it. Because the majority are the harvest. And guess what? People go, oh, there's a second coming, a third coming, a fourth coming. And the reality is this. You need to be here right now. They always got us waiting for an outside savior. And then they always have a wall in between us and what we call God, source, or creator. Back off. Now, so here we go. So your subconscious is a computer. You so desperately want to change. Don't be desperate about it. Just fall in love with your beautiful body, your beautiful mind, wherever it's at. Wherever it's at. Wherever you are, I love you. Thank you for being with me. I am going to go in and rewrite these programs in this computer. And all life is going to change, I'm telling you right now. What happens when you put in a program that has a virus into your computer? Does it run right? Does it run? We're not running right, guys. I'm not even telling you I'm running right, but I'm going to get it right, and I'm going to keep working on it. And guess what? I've got eternity. I will never, ever probably be this Daryl meat suit again. All right. But guess what? I'm not going to go to the butcher's with it, but I'm going to honor it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to respect it. And I can't relive today. I can't relive this moment. Everything. I thank God that I exist. I bloody well exist. That should excite you right to the core. So the brain is just a computer and a chemist. I don't have a mad scientist in here anymore. Most of you still do. I was there. We were all there. I'm no better than you. I never will be better than you. I just want better than normal. Because there's nothing normal. Oh, that's just normal. Don't people say that all the time? That's just normal. No, it's not. There's nothing normal about the way we eat, the way we talk, the way we think, the way we drink, the way we love, the way we care. There's nothing normal about it. Let me make that perfectly clear. So the reality is the best thing that you'll ever have is your imagination, and your imagination by the time that you can walk and talk is almost gone. And as soon as you go to any governmental school, it's stripped from you. It's stripped from you. Your imagination is gone. There's only one right answer now. Imagination is not allowed. And so imagination stands for image. And guess what? You ever see the reels when they used to do the movies? All the images? Well, all those images created a movie. The movie is your life. So you're the image maker. You're the image maker. Cut the crap. You get a decision every day to rewrite the script. Okay? To produce and direct a Braveheart Heroes love story adventure or horror. And you don't even know it. But everybody here runs a program. I run a program. I like my program. I don't have to fear tomorrow or 3 days. Oh, that's just Susie. Every 3 days she goes off. Okay? She just loses her shit. Oh, that's just Jimmy. Okay? He has a tantrum 3 times a day. Oh, that's just Billy. He never drinks, but when he drinks, he just drinks and then he gets abusive and then miserable. And then guess what? And he goes on a binge for 30 days and he destroys everything in his life. And then he's really sorry. But you know what? I'm going to stay with him for the rest of my life because to death do us part. Everything is a program. There's nothing wrong with you deciding to stay with Billy even though he beats you. And then you come to that person, you go, so how's things between you and Billy? Well, thank God he's gotten old. He can't hit me anymore. He's got arthritis in his shoulder. So we're all been programmed that suffering is the way. But even through many philosophies that have been brought through the ages, suffering is the way to the Lord. Oh my God, I learned so much through my suffering. I think I'm just going to keep it going. Does anybody know that you actually don't learn anything through suffering? You just keep practicing it and getting better. Because the more that you suffer, the more you run a suffering program. And the more you run a suffering program, remember something, your subconscious is only smart if you got smart beliefs. Yes or no? Your subconscious is dumb if you got dumb beliefs. Your subconscious is going to be rich if you've got rich beliefs. Your subconscious, if it got sick beliefs, you're going to be what? Thank you. Thank you. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. So I said that, and we're not going to get into this too heavy, but I said that the brain is a chemist. So it's either making the hack, right? Histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, or it's making the dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, which means that you're just loving yourself. And do you know what pisses people off? What pisses people off? When you're loving yourself and they're in a hate mood. Okay, no, but the person that gets pissed off by that is the one who's also doing it. I don't get pissed off because someone's pissed off because I'm in love with myself. I just remove myself because the reality is you keep taking it personal. The person has a program. Do you think that actually when you leave their program changes? So why would you be upset because they got upset because you're loving yourself? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Well, that's fine, honey, that you're upset now because you're not in a good mood, but I've decided to have a smiley, good day today, okay? So what I'd like you to do is just take your energy and go for a long walk, go for a swim, a cold shower, whatever you need to do to change it. And just know that I love you, but guess what? I don't remember the contract saying that every time that you suffer, you get to do it to me or I get to buy into it. So that's what everybody believes, to death do us part, for richer or poor, for sickness and in health. Okay? All right? That's never happening with me. And who in the hell wrote that? Some psycho? Who would do that? Only a psycho would write that. And just, you don't want to believe this, but there is no book, there is no writings that haven't been twisted. So believe whatever you want. Believe whatever you need to do. I'm not telling you there's not great books with great information. So I'm not going to give a name to any of them, and I'm not going to say anything. But I know that my perfect day, nobody's touched it but me. So you either like it or you don't like it. But people are talking about books that have been written hundreds of thousands or even thousands of years ago, and they're going, this was only written by the big guy. Nobody's ever touched it. Seriously. And then you're going to think that we're the leading species in the universe? We're not even the leading species on this planet. And I'm not putting anybody down. You have to understand something. There's an entity on this planet. It's allowed to rule. End of story. There's a bunch of billionaires that are allowed to be billionaires, and if they want to stay billionaires, then they have to help to harvest the 8 billion. I don't ever want to be a billionaire. I don't want any part of that group. I'm already a gazillionaire. And I have less money right now than I've had for the last 12 years. Less than I've ever had in 12 years. And I'm the richest man in the universe. To have your passion and purpose is everything. And to have faith in that which we call God, and know that we can't see around corners, and that it will come when, as long as you believe in your heart of hearts that you deserve it. But if you have any philosophies that you are non-deserving, you're guilty of something, or you're a sinner, you're not going to get it. What, you really think that corrupted vibration is going to actually bring in higher vibration? I mean, who actually thinks like that? A magnet is a magnet. And do you notice everybody's a different magnet here? And do you notice that everybody gets different things, and they say different things, and they think different things? Well, guess what? Change the magnet. Take it serious. Okay, so life is a movie, and you can change the channel. And remember something, that's why they call it channel, because they're channeling in toxicity to you every time you turn the TV on, every time you turn the radio on. They're channeling their crap into you. Television. Programming. Hey, honey, do you want to see what's on the program tonight? Yeah, us. Us, sweetie. Honey, are we going to go for the walk? No, honey, I just want to finish my beer, and I think the hockey game's coming on. Okay, can you get me a burrito? Because I can't wait until we go to bed tonight, and I burn your leg with my farts. So anyway, so what we do is imagination is our gift. And we are imagination. Spirit is imagination. It's the creation of everything. And spirit is what we are. If you could just remember that, if you could just focus on that, if you could just study everything about the spirit, everything about light, everything about electrical energy, everything about frequency, you would win the day. But guess what? It's difficult, isn't it? Because you're a prisoner when you come into this. Because all you can do is focus on this. You see this pimple here? I can't stand when I have a pimple. I don't even want to go out. Can I put some makeup on there? You know, everything is just, you know, that's what we do. We pick ourselves apart, right? We pick ourselves apart. And we pick each other apart, don't we? Do we? That would be like, what would you call that? A vulture? Okay, thank you. So life is a movie. So we're the image maker. So you're the writer, you're the director, you're the producer, and oh, wait a minute, you're the leading star. So, Cynthia, you went from victim to abused housewife. Now, I didn't say that she was being abused by her husband. Maybe she was, yeah, mentally. But she was abusing herself because she had a low value. And she believed that she, at one point back there, that she was born unworthy. I'm not pretty, I'm not smart. This is just the way it's going to be. And all that was a program. How do you feel now? Yeah, and that was how, what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? 4 months ago. So now, and she'll never go back there because all that was a program. And she got the program from somebody else that had the program. Honey, here's my gift to you is my program. And that's what you do. When you are hanging around with people, they're gifting you their program. You are the 5 people you hang around with most. That's what your personality is. You didn't pick it, you didn't choose it until you become conscious. And remember, your conscious mind is only 10% of your brain, where your subconscious is 90%. And then let's go back to Bruce Lipton. So Bruce Lipton says that from 0 to 7, you have no filters, and whatever goes on in your life, it just goes right in. There's nothing going to stop it. You're just a human little sponge. And I'm telling you, no. The brain was manipulated so that from 0 to 7, all the adults, which all adults are adulterated, yes or no? Yes. Okay. The first thing I would do if I was the king of everything is I'd have teenagers actually only being allowed to raise children because they still are full of spirit, okay, and they're still full of, not full of, but they still have self-love and care that they can teach this, which adults don't have self-love and self-care, do they? Where do you get your love from? Not from you. None of it comes from you. If it doesn't come from your children or your husband or your dogs or your cats or something else, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. Why do you think you're getting bigger? You're just going to get bigger. But then you'll go on a calorie diet, and calories have nothing to do with it. But mind you, eating right is, remember something, everything's vibration, right? So, you know, you want to eat high vibrational foods. If you eat low vibrational foods, that adds fuel to the fire. But I know people that have really terrible diets, but they actually study this. And then I know people that actually eat so healthy and they're dying inside. And they don't get it. It's their personality. And those are the hardest people to work with because they believe that they've been cursed. And what happens if you believe you're cursed? Well, how do you get rid of the curse? Well, you need an exorcism. So you got to physically and emotionally detox, don't you? And understand something. 99% of the population are full of entities, yes or no? Well, 99% of the population have parasites. And before you ever have a physical parasite, you had an emotional one. And that emotional parasite was a belief system. And guess what? That's called an entity. because it feeds on you. Your negative emotions feed on you. See, Maria, you got to watch out because you say, I just want to change. I don't want to be like this anymore. Now you're focusing on the things that are holding you back. Don't do that. Just focus on the things you want. I don't focus on anything I don't want. I just focus on what I want. If you focus on what you want, you go there, whether it's an invisible, emotional thing or whether it's a physical thing. Okay? All right? I'm not going to stay in a toxic place. I know where it's not toxic. In the jungle, on the beach. Okay? When I pray, when I meditate. But understand something again, we want our life to be a walking meditation. You all know these people, right? The ones that will meditate. And I'm not putting it down, I do it. But I know so many people that meditate, and after they come out of their meditation, it's only within a few minutes that they're right back to a shit show. And it's like, whoa, how's that working for you? Well, you know, when I was in meditation, I did find some peace, but now I'm back at it. Now, I know that if you keep meditating, but I don't have years to sit in a cave. Okay? I want to get it done. I want to have some fun. Okay? I want to live this life. So I'm not telling you not to meditate. Take time to meditate every day. Take time to pray every day. But understand something. Make it a walking meditation. And let's see if you can never put yourself down or another person. And then, and guess what? Yeah, but guess what? I'm going to put people down that are abusing me. Well, stop focusing on them and they will leave. Well, how's that? I'm married to somebody who abuses me all the time. Then leave. I don't know. What do you want? Can you please help me, Daryl, on how to stay in this toxic relationship that I've been in for 20 years? That's what people come to me with, right? How do I survive this? Well, you don't. You go and you look for a place that you thrive. And you stand in your power for the first time that you can remember. You came here with it, but you lost it from 0 to 7 because you were programmed. Listen, if your father's beating your mother's beating your father, if they're not loving themselves or loving each other, then you're going to have prominent dominant beliefs that from 0 to 7, I gotta believe, okay, my mother was Roman Catholic, my father was a born-again Christian, my mother became an alcoholic early in life, and my father became a reclusive in his mind and kept saying he just wanted to be with Jesus. So how screwed up was I? Okay? My mother would go out for groceries, my father would look at the bill, and he'd count the change. Oh, listen. So the reality is I'm not downing my father. My father only became what he was given. I didn't want to stay. Look at, when my oldest daughter was just a little girl, I took her hairband off and I put it around my wrist. And I started snapping that thing. I said, no more. I snapped that thing 30 times every hour. If I was waiting in line somewhere, I snapped it. If I had downtime, I was snapping it. And I was snapping myself back to the present moment and didn't know it. I was trying to wake myself up. Okay, I was snapping myself, and then after a while I said, that snap is not a snap, it's a kiss. I'm kissing myself. Oh my God, wouldn't want to talk like that. Wouldn't ever want to kiss myself. Oh my God, you weirdo, you. Really, give it a break. The majority's never, ever going to be on your side, so stop it. The majority of your family is never going to be on your side, so stop it. And guess what? I want to be wrong. But until they are, you need to be inside. You need to have an inner standing, not an outer standing. Do you understand? When somebody says, do you understand? Say, no, I don't, because I'm not going to stand under anyone. And that's what the government says. That's what everybody who's taught in bylaw or laws, they're always going to go, do you understand? And during COVID, I'd go, no, I don't understand you. I'm never standing under you. You have no authority over me. Nobody's allowed to come in your house. Nobody's allowed to do anything to you. They have to get a warrant, and they won't get a warrant Because you can't get a warrant. Just remember something. Unless they can prove that you legally are a criminal, they can't come in. So understand something. Start standing up for yourself. Have an inner standing. See, you have power, but you don't know you have it. You have all the love in the world, but you have to go inside to find it. You think I go around looking for love outside myself? Holy shit, I did that for the first almost 30 years of my life. That was it. It was over. Good luck with that one. That's such an illusion. Nobody can love me like I love me. And guess what? If I don't love me, then guess what? Then I'm terrorizing all my children, my partner, and all my friends. Because my heart needs to be filled because we're emotional beings. So here's the deal. So first you got to have an imagination, and guess what? You all have one, and it's working against you because it was programmed to work against you. So now start having different images, okay? Images come together to make the movie. So what does an image create? Yeah, but you just jumped a whole bunch of steps. No, image is imagination. Image creates a thought. And that's why most people rot. And people are rotting out. They're rotting out. They got stinking thinking. Because the invisible creates the physical. If you got stinking thinking, you've got a rotten physical body. You do understand that when you smell your armpits and they stink, you're rotting. You do understand that when every time you have a poop and it smells and it stinks, that means you're rotting. You understand? When you have bad breath, that means you're rotting. Okay? When you have toe fungus, that means you already have, or you're on the edge of what they call cancer and you haven't been diagnosed yet. Trust me. Everybody with toe fungus, if they live long enough, just like eczema and psoriasis are the same condition. Psoriasis is just thicker scabs, and you've had it longer. Yeah, they divide it. No, you don't have, you. Oh no, I'm telling you, I'm a skin specialist, and you don't have eczema, you have psoriasis. So, yeah. Why? Why do I have that? They never tell you. Oh, because the scab is thicker. You see how they get programmed to make everything, oh, I thought I had eczema. No. You've got psoriasis, right? Everything is a condition like arthritis. What does that mean? Arthritis. It means you got inflammation in your joint. If they told you, oh, you have inflammation in your joint, what would you say? How do I get rid of the inflammation? When they tell you have arthritis, you think it's above your pay grade and you won't even look it up in the dictionary. We went through COVID for 3 years, and guess what? You can ask anyone, and you could ask 1,000 people, and nobody looked up the word virus, which means poison in Greek. It doesn't say anything about jumping. It's not alive, because it's not. It can't do anything to you. The whole thing is a hoax. And the people on here, hey, if there's anybody out there right now listening, okay, and you're a medical doctor, please come on my show, so that you can help to protect the people that I'm lying to right now. And they won't, because they're not even sure themselves, but they're brainwashed to believe it. You see? Watch out what you believe. Watch out what you believe. Your beliefs are either working for you or working against you. And understand something. So image creates thought. Thought creates emotion. I'm emotional all day, but I'm not a roller coaster. Baby, I'm just up here. Am I up here? Did anybody see me just even slightly waver? You think it's an act? Well, it was. But it's not an act, it's a program. I don't give a shit if you have a tantrum or you tell me you don't like me or you want your money back. You can get your money, you can all get your money back today. It just means I get to go to the beach. I will never, ever be held hostage by money. I think that's quite obvious. You do know I could have retired. I didn't have to take a lease out for this big property and then take another lease out for another property to create another healing center in Ixtapa and then put 1.5 million into a studio and into a Braveheart Nation app, and it's free to the world. Why would I do that? Because I want to prove to people that you can. I want to prove to everybody that you can. And I'm not going to go into the story, but everybody needs to understand your beliefs are everything. 13 years ago, I had $2,200. That was it. And then everybody goes, well, he must have stole people's money and all that stuff. Well, yeah. You do know when you steal money, you go to jail. You do know when you kill people, you go to jail. Well, why don't they come and get me? I'm hiding out in Mexico. Okay, I go to the States all the time because I live here and there. And then Canada that just decided to attack me and the government, okay? I even call up the people that are attacking me and I tell them I'm going to be lecturing here, so get the police. Yeah, the reality is this, I'm trying to show you something. We're back to this again. If I actually thought they had power, I'd be scared. They have no power. All they are is bullies. And guess what? How much money do you have to pay someone to hurt another human being? Hardly anything. Not much at all. And it's not because they're not beautiful people. It's because they have really bad beliefs. They have bad beliefs that they can't make enough money unless they sell their soul. I just need to survive. I need to pay my mortgage. I need to give my children food. And they miss the whole game. They miss the whole game of everything. I wouldn't even touch that person. Wouldn't even come near them. They are wrapped up in so much fear. Unless you come to me, unless you pay to come here and opt in, and like you paid a lot of money, right? $3,995 for this course. Seriously? And then you get wholesale pricing for life. I'll build you a website for $2,000 if you wanted to start your business. I make no money. So just know when everybody's out there BSing about how I'm ripping people off, don't worry, I don't have enough addictions to have to steal your money. It'll never happen. It's all just horse shit. Anything that you ever hear out there that sounds like trying to make me look bad, it's not even true. Why don't these people come and tell me this? Jealousy is a bad thing, guys. It's not good. It's not good. And it's never going to go away. So just don't, it's not going to go away. And I keep saying it. It's not because I've lost faith in humans. This is a training ground. When you play Monopoly, you're not playing Scrabble. When you go and play the Earth game, you're trying to find your heart. And they gave you a clue because if you mix the letters around, it spells heart. That's all. No, nothing else. You are an eternal being, and that's it. And you don't get it because they didn't want you to have it. It's the Holy Grail. So, image creates thought, thought creates emotion. I am just so glad that I am not you guys, because I used to be. So when I look at you, I don't go, you're dumb and you're stupid. I have empathy. Holy crap, I was there. I was a prisoner. I'm telling you, when I took that hairband off my daughter's hair and I put it around my wrist, I said, no more. I am not living on this planet like this. I didn't say I wanted to die. I said, I am not living like this. My father used to preach, and he used to say that we could have everything. And guess what? His whole life, he never got anything. He didn't get anything. But he used to preach it all the time. You have to take massive personal action and unconditionally love yourself and get rid of all the bullshit stories about sinners and losers and failures. You have to become perfect at something, or not perfect. That's the bad word. Meanwhile, you can get the perfect day guide, because remember something, every day you're tweaking your life. And it never stops. That's why it's called the perfect day guide. It gets you started, but every day you're tweaking your life. So, when I put that hairband on, it was this. You know what? I'm claiming my God-given right. Healthy, happy, and I no longer wanted to terrorize, or emotionally abuse my children. Until you unconditionally love and care for yourself, you are an abuser. And that's it. And I don't care. I'll take on any psychologist, any psychiatrist out there. You want to come on my show, give me a call, 469-861-9454, and then tell me that I'm not right. You know why people will stand up for a lie? My God, I spent $200,000 in school. I've got this degree. I can't go up against that. I'm also part of a community, just like the dentists. A dentist, they get caught, not playing the game, trying to shove antibiotics at someone, trying to put mercury into their mouth, trying to do root canals, which 50% of all women with breast cancer have a root canal on that side of their mouth, and it's dripping into their breasts. That's scientifically proven. They're murdering people. Human beings will not rise until they rise. They will not rise until they have unconditional love for each other. Image creates a thought. If it's a negative image, what are you going to have? Thank you. 1 and 1 or 2, not 11. If you have a positive image, what's it going to be? If you have an image that is orgasmic, what will that be? It'll be an orgasm. And it'll be the best orgasm in the world. It'll be an orgasm that puts energy into your body and it stays there. You want life to be orgasmic. You don't want to search for someone to help you have one. It's a self-serve job. Image, thought, emotion. E stands for energy, motion, energy, and motion. I'm up and down all the time. Thanks for telling me that, because guess what? It's been nice knowing you. I'm not going to hang around that. You're going to just exhaust the shit out of me. I'm just going to be exhausted. And you know that. The families that you have that are up and down with their emotions, right? Oh, and that's because they need to be on some kind of hormonal medication, whether it's natural or it's a prescription, and none of that's true. It was all this that created your hormonal imbalance. And, this might be a sales pitch, but our humic acid, black diamond, black gold, or you can get the humic acid concentrate, will balance any hormonal problem. Any hormonal problem. Remember something. In the health industry, a lot of people will sell you stuff you got to take forever. But why don't you take something like fulvic humic acid that used to be in the soil, that used to do everything? No, let's just try to sell everything to everybody because everybody's a consumer. But actually, you're just consuming yourself. When you become a producer, there's no more consuming of oneself. I produce my own love. I produce my own care. I produce my own practitioner, and that would be me. So, image creates thought. Thought creates emotion. Emotion creates what? A frequency. That's it. That's it. That's all. There's real science. And that frequency will either release the hack, histamine, adrenaline, or cortisol, or the dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. That's it. There's no more to it than that, and everybody else is just full of it. So now, all day long, what am I releasing? You guys are going to be here. We'll be doing live calls with people that are going, Dr. Wolf, my son wants to. Dr. Wolf, they just said that. And I'll go, and I'll be just so calm. Because if I don't stay calm, I can't think correctly, and I can't help them calm down, and I can't make really beautiful decisions for them, which we need to do. You couldn't create fear or anxiety in me if you tried. What do you think a guy like me with a mouth like mine and imagination like mine hasn't got like tons of obstacles every day and just goes, I got this, baby? And if it causes any bit of anxiety, I just put it on the side and I go in my pool and I start to swim and I just tell that which my God, my source, my creator, thank you for everything. Thank you for putting this obstacle in front of me. And just, I know you'll let me know what the answer is. And guess what? I always have it. Don't force it. Don't try to take a square block. which is your head, blockhead, and put it into a round hole. So the frequency, remember what I told you? Am I right or wrong? So the brain is only a computer, okay? I mean, the subconscious is only a computer, okay, and a chemist. And it could be a mad scientist or just love potion number 9, right? That's it. And then it just runs programs. Yeah, but you don't understand my life. Oh yeah, I do. And if you tell that, you can tell the story to me, but if you tell that story again to anybody else, okay, you just put a stake in your heart. Shut up. Shut down until you no longer want to try to kill yourself. So guess what happens to people, beautiful people that believe they're unworthy, and when you believe you're unworthy, you're going to be in pain. They go to search it out. And when they go to a doctor, a medical doctor, too often and say they're in pain, they are going to get the worst drugs. They are going to get and lose parts of their body. Okay? And that is a hate program. So that person is going to give up pieces of their body. Because why? Because that toxic belief makes them feel so poisonous, they're actually trying to get rid of themselves. I'll have women, not men, but women call me up, and they can't get enough of detoxifying because they've been raped. They will want me to detoxify them until they have nothing left of their body. And I have to pull them back and go, no. You can tell a rape victim, she just wants to detox until there's nothing left. And she does not exist because she feels dirty. Because guess what? It was the world that made her feel dirty. And the world would not let her get over the rape. So she keeps talking about it. Everybody, oh, that's awful. That's disgusting. He should die. You know, go to hell. And they keep feeding her. And all that poison gets in her. It's really cool. Right now, in the United States, 50% of all little girls are sexually abused, and 25% of all little boys are sexually abused. And guess what? We need to wake up. We need to wake up. You heard what I just said, and that's true. We need to wake up. I'm going to be doing a Wolf Report. And thereafter, the highest, most purest battery on this planet. And that's our children. You think about that today, Bravehearts. 3, 2, 1. When we come together, we're stronger. God bless.